like an Ethan.
I got to put this
I
on
guess
the
not.
C.
I guess
Let's
we are
watch
on
it.
right now.
Oh, no, I wanted to see it.
Well, we saw it anyways. Hi, I'm Art Fein. It's Art Fein's poker party coming to you from beautiful Eagle Rock by the Sea. For some very special guests, one of whom's a newcomer to the show, one of whom's an old comer. First time in, we got two members of the Stray Cats. First time in, JimPhantom.
Hiya.
Welcome.
Hooray.
Welcome, Jim.
Nice to be here.
Nice
Thanks,
to see you.
Art.
If I forgot your name, I could just read your arms.
Right.
Got it right there. Is that
That's
what
why I
it's for?
put it there, yeah.
Like, hi, I'm Jim. Okay, good to see you, man. Next to him, we got Brian Setzer. Brian,
How you doing, Art?
it's your second time on
Yeah, I
You
was
were
on
on
a
with,
while ago.
with Billy Zoom and James Infield.
That's right.
So listen, we're talking about we'll talk about the reunion of the Stray Cats, which took place about what, 2 years ago?
Year and a half, 2 years, yeah, just about that.
And how long were you guys off Stray Catness? 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we took about 4 years off. I guess off is a good word.
Well, certain ones of us missed you, including Don, the director, out in the control booth. A lot of people, like him, grew up listening to the Stray Cats in the early '80s. I didn't grow up listening to you, but I did catch you before anybody else did, maybe outside of New York, because I saw you guys. If I saw you, as I did, in Amityville, and it was a night or two before you left for England, when would that have been?
June of 1980.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Because I went to that club. What was the name of it?
That was the last time anyone paid me in cash. That's how I remember.
Because I remember I went there with some friends, and they said, "Well, these guys are okay, you know." And these guys who took me there were in a rockabilly band, and they said, "These guys are all right. You know, they're not as good as us."
They never are.
And I went, and frankly, it just blew my mind. I remember that you sang "Since I Don't Have You."
Oh, we always used to do that one.
Yeah.
I can't believe people have a memory like that. That can,
Well, because I never heard anybody sing it.
Since I Don't Have You, I think I like that one. I really liked it.
We always used to
People
do that
really
one.
liked a good soppy ballad, and I love that one. Since I Don't Have You.
We used to play 5 sets a night, too,
was
so
the
we
name of-
pulled them all out.
What was the name of that place that I saw you at?
TK's.
TK's
Place.
Of course, it wasn't the Stray Cats, then it was Brian and the Tomcats.
That's right, Brian and Tomcats.
Actually, I remember too about Jim was that you had big gops of pink stuff in your hair. It wasn't like subtle. It was like it was something like Crisco.
Subtle? What's that?
It wasn't like Crisco. It was pink, and it was like separate from the hair, but on the hair.
Ooh, sorry, Art.
There used to be this stuff called streaks and tips. And it was
that's
hairspray. Hairspray that you could spray on your hair. It
You
was
mean like
colored.
shaving cream?
Yeah, but more like spray paint, actually. So
Right. We were just doing stuff.
I graffitied my hair up. and
Yeah, I remember using that stuff too.
I used to clog the shower drain. It came out in lumps like a softball or something.
So okay, so you guys went from there right over to England, and you pulled a kind of a Jimi Hendrix, right? You went over there and got discovered and got big, and then came back over here.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't all that easy, but that's basically the geographical.
But you got recognized right off the bat, didn't you? Almost as soon as you got there, everybody was jumping on you.
Well,
We
No?
were there for about maybe 4 months, knocking on doors, sleeping on floors, the whole kind of thing. But in England, rockabilly music was always revered and still is revered. I mean, we play there and we draw 5,000 kids a night, and we can do it almost every night of the year if we wanted to. You know, people like Gene Vincent, Eddie Cochran, or like, you know, Carl Perkins, Johnny Burnett, blah, 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 you know, like all the great names. They're like legends over there, gods. Not just guys that had one hit and left like in the States, you know, and next came Fabian and Frankie Avalon. I mean, over there, it's a way of life. These kids have it tattooed on them, like, you know, the birth and death dates of all the great rockers and stuff. You know, they're really, it's a lifestyle there.
So you guys were there as Americans, which was unusual in itself because there weren't any young American rockabillys at that time. I know I was looking for them and there weren't any. Where did you guys? I mean, you both grew up in Long Island,
right, Massapequa.
So where did you get the news? I mean, it wasn't.
I'm
in the
telling
air.
you, we didn't really. We kind of we thought we kind of made the news up. I mean, we just kind of Really, I mean, I have to give the Sex Pistols a lot of credit, because up until then, for me, it was like the dark ages, you know.
The 70s.
Yeah, I mean, it was just disco and music that I didn't really relate to, you know, music that I appreciated for the musicality of it, you know. Bands like Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer were very popular, then Genesis, and like, I couldn't relate to songs with lyrics like billions and billions of stars in the universe, and, you know, well, in my universe is like, you know, getting up and going to work and playing this here guitar and stuff. And I tell you what, I remember first seeing a Gene Vincent record. The Sex Pistols came out, and we went like, oh man, this is rock and roll is back.
Yeah.
In some sort of crude way, it's back. And I remember seeing an import of one of the, I think it's probably, was it the second Gene Vincent album? Remember the little shop?
Second one, yeah.
I mean, we've been buddies since, you know, grade school. We were hanging out then, looking this kind of crazy, you know, punked out rock and roll look, whatever you want to call it. We were greasing our hair back and just doing stuff to be weird, you know. And getting tattoos already and earrings. And we saw that first Gene Vincent album, and just the look spoke to me, man. I didn't know what it was. I don't know how. And I put it on, and oh man, I said, this is what I was talking about. This isn't 50s music like, you know, that I'm used to, like how much is that doggy in the window, and, you know, let's go to the hop and all that sort of stuff. This was the real desperate, you know, badass stuff.
But you couldn't find it very easy.
No, as a
No,
matter
there
of
was
fact,
one shop that we used to go to.
They were imported from, it was like a Dutch import or something, you know. And then when we kind of discovered that, man, we said, if we can just kind of do what the Sex Pistols do now, make it real rough and tumble, but do it American style and write lyrics that are about us, I really think we'd be onto something.
And we had always played, which was kind of separated us from like what a lot of the punk guys were doing, because they just found a bass and they decided that they were a bass player or something. But we had always taken lessons and been in bands and studied, you know, like all jazz guys around New York and stuff. So we really knew how to play. So that was kind of an advantage for us, you know.
So what about, but your first jump into it wasn't rockabilly at all, right? Bloodless Pharaohs? What were they doing?
Bloodless Pharaohs. That was kind of like...
I mean, I haven't heard it, but I assume it sounds like a metal. Nothing wrong with metal either. I mean,
no, it was well, that was really
It wasn't metal, that's for sure.
No, Bloodless Pharaohs was like my first band that got me, you know, if you're not, you know, familiar with, you know, Long Island area, it's kind of like growing up in what would be like, I guess, Bell Gardens, and you wanted to go into Hollywood or something, and that band got me into Manhattan. We were playing CBGB's and Max's Kansas City in those clubs, and it was kind of weird. I was kind of still discovering and searching and not quite sure really what I wanted to do. I still kind of look like I do now. I kind of had this big kind of haircut and big gold suit, and I played my Gretsch. And we kind of sounded like, the first like Roxy Music record or something, a little artsy-fartsy.
Early Bowie or something. Kind of.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
was still searching. It wasn't bad stuff, you know. But anyway, we do this set. We had a singer. I didn't sing. I just played guitar. And we'd end the set with like Bebop-A-Lula. And it was like Bring the House Down. They'd yawn through the whole set, and then they'd wait for that.
Excuse me, this parallels my whole club attendance in the 70s, because you'd go to the Roxy and see a band like PFM, some Italian progressive band, and at the end they'd do Bebop-A-Lula. Everybody would say, "Thank God." You know, we've been sitting here for like an hour and a half, like we're in church. And Buck Owens would always end with a rock and roll song. I mean, ELO would always end with a rock and roll song. So it was almost like we've been kidding you for the last hour.
Well,
and a half.
guys like Jeff Lynne are really into the.
Well, I love Jeff Lynne and I love ELO. I shouldn't have mentioned them in the context of the.
But it was funny
I know what
because
you're saying,
Brian
though.
had his band, and me and Lee had our kind of arty band as well, that we wrote our own songs. That was very important back then, to be an original band.
Yeah.
And we used to do the Tomcats on the weekends,
Oh,
you know, to make some extra money. And we were, you know, like slowly finding out that 500 kids were coming to see our little party band on the weekends, and like 20 people were coming to see our big serious bands, you know.
But we were still like going to thrift shops and buying like a big baggy suit, combing our hair in a quiff and doing it. So I mean, it was rough in
So what did the other kids think of that?
1977. Well, they thought we were either fags or they thought
Punk. What are you, a punker?
We were punks, and that was like a new word, you know. So we had to stick together because we used to get in a lot of trouble and stuff. You know? But I mean, besides all that, I mean, down to it, we're really musicians. You know, that comes first. You know, do you like this or that? Well, I'm a musician. I like a lot of kind of different sort of stuff.
I forgot my standard first question. My standard first question, which is
where's Lee Rocker?
no.
He don't do interviews.
It's too famous.
What's the first record you bought?
First record I bought or the first record I had?
Well, again, whatever you like.
I guess the Beatles' first album. You know, my mom had it around the house. That's the one I really listened to a lot.
Yeah.
And then I guess I must have bought another Beatles record, like Revolver or something like that, when I was a little older.
How about you?
It was the first Beatles record, Meet the Beatles, or Introducing, whatever it was, on VJ, the VJ label.
Yeah, Introducing.
And I remember me and my brother shot holes through it with a BB gun in the middle of it, and we could still play it. I don't know, but that's my memory of the
reaction
first.
to a record. Why were you shooting?
I mean, it was just one of those things you do as a kid, you know. I mean, I loved the record. We wore it out, but in the interim, we had nothing to shoot at, so we shot at the middle of the record.
And what about the first concert you saw?
Oh boy, man! You really want to know the first concert?
Usually you're embarrassing. That's why I asked.
It is embarrassing.
Yeah.
The first one, Jethro Tull.
Mine was Deep Purple.
And man, we sat behind the band. It was, I don't know what to think.
Was it all it was cracked up to be? I mean,
I had never heard them. My friend had tickets to a rock concert. You know, I was
Right.
about 14. You know,
Yeah.
and like your parents were just gonna start to let you go. And I went to see Jethro Tull. No, I mean I didn't relate. You know, I really didn't relate.
So
I've never liked rock concerts. The whole thing about it, you know, too crowded, too smoky. I don't know.
Now, since I predate you guys quite a bit, and I started young, right from shooting marbles to going to rock and roll shows. So my mother took me to one in '57, and I saw Charlie Gracie, Butterfly. You tell me you love me. You don't know that one?
No.
Okay, Tab Hunter, the Everly Brothers,
Tab Hunter.
Chuck Berry, and little Brenda Lee. I think she's 11.
Wow.
That's very cool.
Man, that's a great show.
That's kind of another way that we got turned on to the music. Like you said, Chuck Berry was like Rolling Stones records and Beatles records. They always had a cover on there. And you look at the little thing and see who's C. Berry, who's Carl Perkins, and that makes you, we dug back a little further to find other guys, you know, that were doing that kind of stuff. So
we were talking outside about the movie bits that each guys have been in. We were laughing about the details. I saw a funny detail. By the way, I wanted to mention Great Balls of Fire. I mention this in almost every show because I'm one of the 3 people in America that really like that movie. Because it was funny. It was just everybody says it was a cartoon. It wasn't real at all. But that's right. It was just fantastic. It was like the Flintstones.
Good clothes.
But we were laughing about the details that were wrong in that, and it's also you played a part in the
in La Bamba.
In La Bamba,
yeah.
Real cool part of Eddie Cochran. But you were all decked out, right? But what were you saying about the equipment?
Well, they just told me. Well, actually, Eddie Cochran's mom called me up. You know, oh, I'd really like you to play Eddie. You know, and that was, you know, that was an honor. You know, and then I got a call from all the corporate people, and they were very into it. They didn't really imply any restrictions on me. You know, just wear something that you would think Eddie would wear. You know, comb your hair like you do. And I mean, it's funny because they spent thousands and thousands of dollars in these like wardrobe trailers that any of us would kill for. Shirts like this and jackets like that. I mean, the real threads. And then you get up there, and of course I brought my own Gretsch, and they've got like a new Fender amp and a brand new microphone that they bought at Radio Shack. And everything is wrong. Yeah. And I'm thinking, boy, you guys spent tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on this, and you got the most, obvious stuff wrong. They always seem to do that. Yeah.
But Jim, you were in a movie too. You were in Bird?
Yeah, I did Bird, the Charlie Parker story, which was a gas for me because I'm a big fan of Charlie Parker and the whole bebop era.
So I didn't see the movie.
It was a good movie. It won a couple of awards at Cannes or something.
I know about
Not me,
it.
but
I know about it. So where were you?
I played a drummer that sold Charlie Parker heroin and played drums in his band, so I fell naturally into the role. But there was a couple funny things actually. We recorded a scene at a little studio called Electrovox out on Melrose in Hollywood. That's Frank Sinatra used to record. I think Bird actually made some recordings back there in the 40s with Miles Davis or something. And they had like a whole string section and stuff in there, and it was directed by Clint Eastwood. Mm-hmm. So it was the first time I had ever done anything like this, and I was nervous enough. Like I had 4 lines, and I'm reading them over and over and over again in the dressing room. And there was a little guy they got from the Union to play fiddle, Musha Poilman or something his name was, and so we do the take and it went right, and I played my part right, and I spoke, everything was right, and then right before the end he yells at his bow, cut, excuse me, Clint, I must talk to you, and Clint Eastwood says, yes. Clint, my shoes are brown and my suit is blue. They don't match. They don't match. So Clint says, everything's all right, man. Don't worry about it. So we do the scene again, and I got my part right again, and he says, cut, this little guy stopping the film from Clint Eastwood. And he says, now what is it? He says, well, this says it's in G minor, and on the tape it's in G flat. Clint, what am I supposed to do? He says, don't worry, you're just miming along to this. And he actually stopped the film about 4 times. I expected Dirty Harry to like blow his head off the last time. I was getting mad because I was doing my parts right. But
don't yell cut again.
Don't yell cut again. But he was very nice.
Now here's a T-shirt that you've very graciously given me from the Stray Cats 1990 Australian tour. Now, what's interesting about the current status of the Stray Cats is that now this is a big tour of Australia, which would follow. There was also an Oriental tour connected to this one.
No, we're going back in a week to play Japan, and believe it, we're going back down to Australia because we've got a hit, Clint.
We got a Clint hit.
So we're going back again.
So here's the deal. We all know about the Stray Cats. We know the big rush in like 82, 83, 84 in there.
Yeah.
Then there was a fall off, and then you guys went separate ways. Now you're back.
That's right.
But you're telling me that the thing in Europe and in the Orient and Australia is bigger than ever? Is that the right? I got the
We're
right
doing bigger
indications?
shows than ever before.
Yeah.
You know, like our first tour of England that we hadn't done in 4 or 5 years. We did bigger places than when we had records in the charts there.
Yeah,
you know?
it's true. It's very strange. I mean, we're definitely a lot better now than we were. I mean, I just feel more confident. And I mean, I don't know. I watched back some of those old tapes we did, and there was some great stuff on there, you know, and there was some horrible stuff. But as an overall band now, I just think it's a better band. It's a lot more musical, a lot less hungover.
Lee Rocker has reached the superstar status now,
Yeah.
so it's a little
won't
bit
even
easier
join
to
us.
be in the band.
By the way, that guitar you got there that you're putting away.
Yeah.
Can we take a look, now that you're putting it away, can we take a look at it for a second? 'Cause
Okay.
It's got looks like a Western belt. I don't know if somebody can get a close up of the edging of it. It's really neat.
Oh, the edge of
This is a
that.
Gretsch, huh?
Yeah, this is called a Roundup.
It's got a brand on it too.
Yeah, they branded them, and they made them in 54 and 55.
Is it full size? Looks like it's a little
Yeah,
small.
it is. It's just a solid body, you know, and I guess it was their competition for the Les Paul. And, you know, when guys like us started playing these things, you know, they were junk. People would, you know, couldn't get a couple $100 for them. And now they've discovered them, and they're ridiculous. But it's just a cool little axe.
Great. You said you sent a lot of stuff ahead to the Orient already, right?
All of our
Yeah.
gear has got shipped over there. About a week ago, I think you have to send stuff kind of early.
So the current album, which is only out in where, Australia and Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's it called?
It's called Let's Go Faster.
And so that has a chart position right now in Australia?
It's in the 70s, the 60s,
Moving up.
somewhere. And in Japan, I know the first week it sold like 30,000 copies or something.
Cool.
And we're doing big places there, multiple nights and stuff. Like, I think we're doing like 6 shows in Tokyo or something.
Wow.
7,000 seater. And it's so big there.
You told me about that area where they all danced, that they had some of your stuff for sale, your logo stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
It's called the Harajuku District.
In Tokyo?
Yeah, they have a Stray Cat store there. I mean, I hate to sound like I'm blowing my own horn or something, but to go over there,
I asked you because I want to hear about
to
it.
go over there and see that stuff just blows me away because this is the kind of music we love, you know, and not to make any concessions, and whether we have a record out or not, it doesn't seem to matter, you know. It's just really cool. There's a shop there called Love Me Tender, and it's pretty much half Elvis and half
half
Stray
us,
Cats.
right.
And they've collected old posters of us and old pictures and old, you know, interviews.
Video compilations. you
Yeah,
know.
and they've made their own line of merchandise. Stray Cats cigarette lighters, Stray Cats the lunchbox, you know, Stray Cats.
And we get it half price.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you don't mind too much. I mean, there's like one band called the Cramps that's bootlegged more than they've sold. You know.
That's another band.
Yeah. Oh, the Cramps were great.
And I wondered when you guys see your own logos there on something.
I was glad to see it out. Really, you know, I don't really. I'm just happy to
They're
see
cutting
her,
us in now. We made a deal with them.
Yeah, we cut a deal.
We saw the Cramps one time. It's a great story. We saw them in New York when we first found out about rockabilly and stuff, and we went with like us and some girls and stuff. There was maybe 15 people in the place, and we were half of them, and they smashed up the whole place. They didn't care if it was full or not. They did their whole show. Lux stripped and like just smashed chairs. Went crazy. They were fantastic.
We like went home after that gig with our jaws hitting the ground, saying, you know, this is what we've got to do. You know, we're not as warped or mutant as that, but we got to come up with something.
Well, you know, you just said that you made certain forays into New York City, but actually you're a band that went from Amityville to England, right? I mean, you never did the New York scene.
I never lived in Manhattan. No, we're from the suburbs of New York. So
we did, you know, like weekends every now and again.
Yeah, we would get a hotel room for the weekend because we'd play CBGB's on the Bowery, and then we'd play Hurrahs on 62nd Street.
And then Max is on 17th Street.
We would kind of, you know, go in for the weekend and do all our ridiculous stuff and come home, you know, to Candyland.
The thing in Manhattan was you couldn't work more than once a month at any club, because then the other club around the corner wouldn't hire you because they weren't expecting a full house more than once a month, you know.
I see, yeah.
And on Long Island, we used to work like 5 nights a week and pack them in. So we were making like good cash pocket money, had your own car, and you know, it was really cool back then, you know.
But you didn't really gig your way up because, I mean, you worked around a little bit in the New York area, but like you never went on your own barnstorming tour around America.
No. In England we did it that way, kind of. Yeah.
You went
around London, you know, like everything is based in London, so like if you get a good buzz going in London, the rest of the country kind of falls in line.
And when it really started happening in London, you had a lot of people coming to see. I mean, there was a lot of good celebrity buzz that.
Yeah, well, those guys were into the music as much as anyone. We had the guys from like the Stones and the Who and Led Zeppelin, and guys like Jeff Lynne used to come down, and Eric Clapton. I mean, like a whole bunch of. I mean, because that's where they came from.
Right.
And for them to see some, like young American cats doing it, they were really into it.
Those guys are all huge rockabilly fans. I mean, you know, Robert Plant. You know, I played on the Honey Drippers thing, and we've been friends for a long time. I mean.
Now, when I was liking rockabilly in the 70s, there wasn't anybody else like it. There was no bands playing it, and there was nobody following it.
Right.
Now, you've got a pretty good gauge of what's going on around the world. Now, I saw you guys in Chicago a year and a half ago, and there was a lot of quiffed out kids and the kind of people we expect to see at a Stray Cats concert. But I mean, 10 years ago, there was no such varmint. There were no people like that. So wherever you've been going, you always draw some people. I mean, there seems to be a consistent international underground now of rockabilly fans.
Boy, it's different in each country, isn't it? I mean, it's. I mean, there's a hardcore rockabillys in all the countries, but different places. I notice in the States, it's more. I call them guitar owners come down. They want to see
the equipment.
They want to see what I'm doing, and they want to see, at least slap the bass. There's more of that sort of thing, and different countries. It just seems to be in London. I mean, man, it's just.
Psychos.
It's psychoed out. I mean,
they dive off the balcony and the PA columns.
And they've got, a haircut is just no hair except for 2 horns that they've greased and sprayed red, and they look like the devil. And,
Eddie Cochran tattooed across their chest. I mean, Germany too, and Holland, and
those
France,
places seem to be pretty hardcore.
By the way, you got a new tattoo. I called your house, and your wife said you're getting a new one. I said, where?
Yeah.
On the soles of his feet? Where, which one's new? Can't see it right now?
Yeah, I've got this thing up the back of my arm. Can you see that?
I see it's fresh.
It's all kind of new. It's a big snake going up the back. Oh, there it is.
I guess you're just doing that so you won't have to use suntan lotion.
I'm just bored.
Listen, I want to plug something too while I'm here. This is the book I have coming out in February 1991, the LA Musical History Tour. That's all I got to say.
We'll sell them in Japan, or just lay a big box of them on us.
Actually,
that's a good name.
Actually, I'll be at
Musical
the
History
Book
Tour.
Soup signing books.
Oh,
March
yeah?
15th, you'll be out of town, won't you?
I'll send my people down.
We're going to be out of town that day.
Maybe Lee will turn up.
Well, Brian, we've had the guitar there the whole show, and we haven't played it at all because the thing started on a Sunday, and we're just about out of time. So I wondered if you could do a little something for us. For those.
See, I knew we'd have lots to talk about. I knew
that. I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about not having a whole hour.
Want some more volume?
No. Not too loud now,
I just like working those knobs on that thing.
Swimming. Train ride, 16 coaches long. Train ride, 16 coaches inches long. Well, it took my baby, but it never will again, never will again, not again, not again,
Yeah, you know, you're getting kind of close to the Junior Parker version there. I mean, you're actually getting kind of bluesy on that one. That's really good.
Oh, I want to hear about these cigarettes, Art.
Oh, yeah.
About Hit Parader brand.
I did want to mention to you that I always have these at the beginning of every show. These are Hit Parader cigarettes. I guess they were made by American Tobacco. The reason they linger high in my memory is that they're the first cigarettes I got sick on. I like the name Hit Parade, and I took them over to the billboard over by the airport. So I put 6 in my mouth. And I mean, if one's good, 6 must be better.
You get on TV doing that now.
Man, I remember stumbling over to a car and saying, "Take me home." And this guy driving down the street, and just some poor kid walking up to him and, and looking pretty bad. I'm going to give you some tapes. I mean, what tapes do you have? You got True Fine Rock? You got a couple of them.
Yeah, I know, but like a lot of those things get lost and stuff, and so I'll take.
We always use them as pre-show tapes.
Yeah, we've been using them as pre-show
Is that right?
tapes. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Quite a lot.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
How about this one? Down the road I'm going. Does this look familiar? Jet Tone Boogie?
I don't have this one.
Oh, okay. Well, you got it now.
Good.
Let's use that. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on the worldwide acceptance of the Stray Cats. That's terrific. That's terrific that they haven't forgotten you over there. And you still, I mean, okay, I saw you in Chicago. When did you last play L.A.?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Besides that.
Before that, we did I mean, LA's always been our town. Like more than anywhere else in the States, we've always done really well here, and this is kind of where everyone lives now. So we'll be back with a vengeance. That's for sure.
Yeah, I want to come home.
All right. So you got no longer with EMI, shopping the new record in L.A. called. You just told me.
Let's go faster.
Let's go faster. Any covers I would know on that one?
Town Without Pity.
Town Without Pity.
Yeah,
oh yeah, but
you know that's what
this ridiculous chord version worked out with Nile Rodgers.
It reminds me
It's
of
different.
what I also liked about seeing a band back at TK's was because you must have done Can't Hurry Love. You did some Supreme song, and I was pretty tickled because
we used to have a Supreme set. We used to do Stop in the Name of Love, Can't Hurry Love. We knew them all.
I was pretty tickled because that was very undoctrinaire. I mean,
that's right. That's what we liked about it. Was breaking those rules. You know, I mean, I like Can't Hurry Love. And we just did it our own way. You know?
It's cool. All right, thanks very much for coming by.
Thank you, Art.
Great.
It's great to have you here. Maybe if I get real lucky someday, I'll get Leon.
Well, I don't have to call his agent.
We'll do I guess, I'm sorry guys, but we already talked about me and him, and we're going to do the Lee solo show. So you guys can phone in, though, or something if you want. So thanks very much. This is Art Fein saying goodnight for Art Fein's Poker Party. We don't have a music tape. Could I ask you to vamp on the way out? Because we don't have any music set up.
We'll do some cocktail thing here.
Okay. Brian Setzer, SlimJimPhantom.
Over the shoulder. Get it.
Holder.